Nice, sir. Close. Good boy. Back. We got. Come on. You ready? Go get it. Good boy. Ring. No keep away. Come on. Good boy. Close. Boy. Good boy. All right. Come on. Hello, y'all. I'm Rusty, the cowboy trucker, and my beautiful wife Sable behind the camera, and my truck dog Zerky. Obviously, he's all enthralled with his favorite toy, Kick. Right now, it's winter's coming around the corner, and right now it's perfect weather to exercise your dog. And this is one of the favorite ways. He's all play drive. We exercise dog like that. But we'd like to welcome y'all back to the channel, and today we're going to be speaking on how to take care of your pets while here in wintertime on the road. Now that we're back over here at the truck with old Becky here, now we're going to talk about loading and unloading your dogs and your other pets like a cat. But for this segment, we're going to talk about big dogs and small dogs. So when there's a lot of snow and ice out, you get a lot of buildup of snow and ice on your steps. That can make it very hazardous for your dogs to jump in on their own. Zerky, he's a very agile dog, and he can easily jump from the ground and in and back out of the cab. But, you know, everybody knows these truck stops, they always got ice and snow everywhere every time you try to park during the wintertime. If your dog, even though he's got 4 legs, jumps out onto that snow and ice, he can end up flat out like a cartoon. He do the splits, all 4 legs going all 4 directions. That could actually injure your pet or your animal. Now, when we go to load a dog, you train them to step up onto the top step and then wait for your assistance. So when I tell him to get into the truck, he'll actually look back and wait for us. Let's go ahead and show you that now. Zerky, truck. Go. Up. See, now he's looking back and he's waiting to see if we're going to help him out. So when you go to lift your dog, you brace underneath their belly right here. See how you went finally all the way up? And you grab right here the knob of their tail, and then you just lift, and they do the rest. Zerky, come. And you notice how he'll sit here and wait until we told him it's time for him to get out. In this scenario, we're going to show you him just jumping out. Okay. See how he went down onto the step first when he came out? Is to lower the amount of space he's actually free falling. Now, most dogs do that naturally, but some dogs you may have to train them to do that. So you train them like they're going down the stairs. So, but the next one, Zerky don't like. This is when you got to pack your animal out because there's too much snow and ice on the ground. Zerky, truck. Zerky, come. For this, I like to take the leash off because he's got what we call a pinch collar on him. So just put it around your neck so you have a quick access, put it back on your dog when you get him back out. So it's kind of like a fireman carry. You get him around the front shoulders on the elbow and you reach up behind him. Yep. Right, so they can't really fight and get away. So you scan like this and you squat now. Sit them down nice and easy. Always keep a hand in control of your dog till you get them back secured on their leash. And that's the safest way to remove your dog by hand, not let them jump out and harm themselves. Now cats, they make one of the best truck pets because they're very low maintenance. Only thing you really got to do is make sure they got plenty of wet food and you clean out their litter box once a day. Other than that, they pretty much take care of themselves. That's why they make great trucking pets. And during the winter time, one thing you want to make sure they have their favorite toy and a nice warm bed for them to wrap themselves and curl themselves in a cold night. But other than that, they love heat. So they would chase your heater vents and on your dash where the defroster is, and that can still really cook them and dry them out. So the same way with your dogs too, though. You don't want to put your dog bed right in front of your bunk on the floor because that thing does come out really hot and it will dry out and your animal, make them dehydrated and crack. And it's really gets really nasty. Now, to come to keeping your pets happy, warm, and safe, they can still get overheated by a unit cab heater, especially if they sit right down on top of them. One thing to look out for when a cat starts overheating, they'll find somewhere where they can spread way out and their mouth will be open and they just pant with their mouth wide open. Same thing like a dog does when they're getting really hot and or stressed out. Their tongue just hangs out, but how you know they're still in stress and heat is the end of their dog's tongue at the end tend to flare out like a spade. The hotter they are, the more it flares out because that's how they dissipate heat out of their body. So your cat will tend to seek out the heat source and be right in front of it. And sometimes they get a little stupid and sit there and start panting and stay right in front of the heat anyway. So when you're not inside your truck monitoring your animal's conditions, you really need to keep it at a medium level of heat. You don't want to keep the heat maxed out and then also to be too hot for you when you get in as well. So during winter time, you got the heat situation you got to worry about from your APUs or your accessory heaters. And you also have to worry about them freezing to death if you spend a long time away from your truck with no accessory heat on the truck. And it's with pets, it's not a really good idea to keep your truck idling around unless you're there with them. So during winter time, let's hope you got some type of glow plug so you can increase the temperature of your cylinders. That way you can start them up quicker. And in severe cold weather, just crate your pets. Don't let them run around the cab on their own because you never know what they're going to do, especially a large dog. They can accidentally release the brakes, put the truck in gear with all kinds of other stuff. I've had a Zerky do all above. Now, with winter weather right around the corner, a few things you want to keep in mind about your pets because they're in temperature-controlled environments just like you are in the cab of your truck. So they don't get acclimated to the weather like a normal animal would. It wouldn't have the coats and the protections that they normally develop naturally. So they can easily become hyperthermic in your cab and hypothermic outside your cab, or even in your cab if you leave them out there with no heat. So when the temperature gets 20 degrees or below, your animal's pads are prone to frostbite really bad. So because when they get too hot, their feet also sweat. So if they're hot in the truck, you get out, they could be already sweating, you wouldn't even know, and it can instantly freeze as soon as they get on the ground. That's why it's a good idea to have a good boot. But other than a boot, a nice jacket to help protect from wind and moisture, and plenty of water. Because a large dog can go through 3/4 to a gallon of water every day easily, just the same as well as you do. And their favorite indoor play toys inside the truck, because you still do got to exercise and play with your dog, or they'll get bored and they start doing things you would rather them not do inside your truck. I think everybody loves to keep their upholstery and their seats intact throughout the winter seasons. But other than that, deep snow, especially for you small dog owners out there. You ever been walking along and all of a sudden you just see a leash, you don't see no dog, and there's deep snow out? It's because they done fell into a foot of snow and they're kind of hidden. You don't know where they're at. If they can't get out on their own, you need to go pull them out as fast as possible, because a lot of small dogs will lose their body heat really quickly, and you need to get them back indoors to warm back up. And also during wintertime in the truck stops, you got to watch out for salt, because they do put out a lot of de-icer that can get up into the paws of your animal's feet and stay there, and it will actually chemically burn your animals. So you're in between the paws of their feet are really sensitive, so you want to clean that out really good when you get back in your truck. And then while you're cleaning your animal's feet when you get back in the truck, you also want to inspect your animal due to the fact that if they slipped on black ice or snow and they fell, they could have easily pulled muscles or broken or fractured something. So you can inspect them down fully while you wipe them down. And it's also nice to keep a clean truck during the wintertime. You don't want all that mess spread all over your truck. And lastly, if your overall health and fitness of your animal is important to you, you might want to think about cutting back on how much they eat during the winter because they don't have as much physical activity throughout the wintertime. Just like us, when we gain too much weight, we start having issues. Thank you, and y'all have a great day.